Hi there. Welcome to the Drupal Media Team Scrum. It's July 8th, 10:30-ish US time, Central. And this is kind of our regular weekly hangout that we do on air to discuss progress since last week, what people have been up to, what are they working on, if they're blocked by anything, um, and just to kind of discuss general things. It should be fairly quick, about 15 minutes. Anyone watching is more than welcome to join us in the Pound Drupal Media IRC channel, where we can have back channel going on, and we also have a hack pad with our meeting notes and agenda and all that kind of good stuff, where we record what's happened on our meeting. If you're not watching this, you can see that as well. But that's linked in IRC as well. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with updates. I'll go ahead and just kick us off. The good news is the Drupal 8 Media Amsterdam session was accepted, which I preluded to last week. And my other session was accepted as well, so I should be 100% able to go and attend Amsterdam, which is going to be great. I'm planning on attending as much of the extended sprints as I possibly can around the event and focusing entirely on D8 media stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. I think Yanez and myself both were accepted with grants, which is on the website now. So that's awesome for us to have and able to attend. If anyone else is looking for funding, just please let us know. We can get you in contact with people to send you to Amsterdam and help sprint with us. So let us know on that. Also been working on some architecture reviews. I started planning out some documents that I have linked in the hackpad for what's going to replace the media internet module, and also the OEmbed module, at least my thoughts for how we should work on that for D8. So feel free to check out those architecture documents. They're Google Docs. Anyone can comment on those. So check those out. They're a little interesting in how we might move forward with those. They're not exactly straight ports, so they could definitely use review, along with the entity browser architecture review, which is drupal.org/node/2289821. That one also needs feedback. That's kind of it for me. I can review our action items after everyone gives an update too. Let's get updates from Yanez.
Yeah, I worked on anti-browser, started to work on some shape of the classes in there and stuff like that. I would still invite everyone to check the architecture ticket. I will paste it in the chat because it's important to get it right. That was mostly it in terms of coding. I was accepted for a grant for Amsterdam, which made me very happy, and I reached out with Australian people about the scrums and the idea about alternating the times of scrums to be able to include them also. So yeah, they said that probably during their work time it's almost impossible, but early morning or early evening should work for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at the meeting planner, and it seems that probably the idea about having Scrum once, like in the morning US time, and then in the afternoon US time, should kind of include also Australians. So it would be great if we can start doing that.
Okay, great. I've got a Google Doc survey going. I'm working on too. That I forgot to update. That we could maybe get a little bit more precise feedback, or if people want to use just IRC instead of the Hangout, since that's kind of up for debate too. Since the Hangout does kind of require a little bit more participation, maybe we'll get more participation with IRC. So we'll see on that. I'll post that out. So thank you very much for reaching out to them.
No problem.
That is good to know. Anything else from you, Jonas?
No.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Brandon, what's up with you?
So the user stories feature for DrupalMedia.org we started at DrupalCon Austin is ready to go, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and push that into the site. But I'll post a link to the multi-dev environment if people just want to look around. And then I think we can get started copying and pasting those Trello tasks back into the site as nodes, and then later on we can add the fun things like commenting or rating and stuff like that. So, but the initial bit of functionality I think is ready to go. Other than that, I haven't done a whole lot. We're in full planning mode for the DrupalCorn camp, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to do any media stuff.
Cool, that's totally fine. Yeah, if you want to get a link to that multi-dev environment in the hackpad under the action items, I've got a task for that one already, just to kind of review. That would be great. Yes, I would love to take a look at it.
I'm just pasting it in now, Dave.
Perfect. Thank you, Willie. All right. Thank you, Brandon. Next up, Kevin. Anything you want to update on?
Hey guys, no, not much of an update. This is the first Scrum that I'm joining, so I'm just trying to get an idea of where you guys are and what you're doing. I helped out a bit at DrupalCon Austin, so I'm hoping to get a bit more involved in helping you guys get to beta in 7 and to get all the stuff ready for Drupal 8. So, I'm not sure exactly. I'm sure you guys need help in a lot of places, but if you have something specific and just let me know, and I don't really have anything specific that I have yet to tackle, so I'm open to suggestions and helping out wherever I can.
Okay, great. Yeah, would love to have your help, and definitely jumping into those architecture reviews and kind of giving those feedback. That's definitely one way to start out right now. Helping with review that user stories kind of feature on the website would also be great too. Love to get your feedback on that.
Okay, excellent. I'll take a look.
So yeah, I mean, we definitely have coding tasks too, but those are all in the queue. So great to have you, Kevin, and good to see you again. So let's see. Willie, do you want to give your update at all, or I know you put it in already in the hackpad.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I've been a little bit swamped with work, so sorry I wasn't on the last call. For the theming of the site, I was going to use. I was thinking initially of using Omega or Aurora as the base theme, but because of some of the things going on with those projects, I was thinking maybe we should just stick with Bartek or use Zen. Does anyone have a preference, or do you guys care? Or?
I mean, I'm personally okay with Bartek until we have kind of a better plan or like actual proposals for a theme.
So why don't I put together sort of a designer proposal for the theme, and then we can use either Bartek or Zen. I mean, I don't think we should go overboard on it, right? It's just the minimum of what we use now. I just think if we spruce it up a little bit, it may help us in terms of garnering a bit of momentum and funding to do some of what we want to do, particularly with like some of the media organizations in New York. So I'll work on like some design docs or plan for that, and then just put everything. I spun up a multi-dev. I'll put everything in there in the theme, and then put any sort of feature changes in there, just in terms of changes, minor changes to the site.
Okay.
And then I'll help with migrating the media stories in. So I'll work with Brandon on that just so we can get that going and live. And then I met with the CTO and sort of the technical lead at Time magazine about a bunch of the stuff that they've been doing, because they've sort of built out a sort of a, I don't know if I'd call it a distro, but like a platform that they're using for all their properties, and had a really good discussion with them, and they're keen to sort of get involved and give user stories and input and guidance back, and then I think if we can get them engaged and other members of the LSD program engaged, then that may help both in terms of guidance for what we're doing, and then maybe generating some funding. I don't know, who may or may not have funding, and then also I think developers to help sprint. So there was a good meeting. They were really excited to hear about what we're doing and very positive, and I'll follow up with them, and then we'll work at getting them engaged. So.
Great. That sounds
hey Willie,
excellent.
just as a point of reference there, I actually helped build that distro for Time.
Yeah, I know Appnovation did a fair amount of work on that, right?
Yeah, and I was one of the guys on that team, and I'm still trying to work with them to help to have them allow me to contribute some of the stuff that we built for that, and I'm kind of still waiting on hearing on them. They're not the quickest moving organization, but if I can help you out in any way with that, just let me know.
Yeah, why don't we connect on that, because I was involved in the initial Time build, that like the builds that you guys are doing now. There was an initial sort of POC, their first Drupal implementation a couple of years ago, that was sort of laid the tracks for that, and I went through a similar process there as well. And I know that they're interested in contributing back to the community. I think it's just figuring out the process and how we go about doing it. And I think if we can support them and give them a model for doing that, then there's some useful stuff that can go back, because they're doing lots of cool things, So whether it's code that comes back, or suggestions or ideas or user stories, it'd just be good to get some of that back into the community. So.
Great. That's an excellent update, Willie. Thank you so much. Don't feel bad about missing the last couple of weeks. I know you've been busy, so that's great. Hi, Dom. It's great to have you back again. What are you up to and working on?
Yes, sir. First, I'm sorry because I was busy and I didn't do anything in the last few weeks, so I decided not to join last month. But this week, no. But next week I will have some time to work on the entity browser, because now you are starting working on that. So I will discuss with Janet to because now the model have a few type of plugins, so we will discuss about this and improve the current implementation of the model. I don't have time this week, but next week I will be at home with my daughter, so I will have some time to work on this model.
Great. That's good. It's good to hear. Yeah, we'd love to have you continuing to work on it. So, having your perspective and involvement will be great. So, good to hear that you're talking with Jonas about the plan and the architecture. Good deal. Will you be planning to attend in Amsterdam as well?
Yes, I think yes. It's in Europe, so I think I will attend.
Great, awesome. Kevin, Willie, or Brandon, are either of you planning on attending in Amsterdam as well?
Yeah, this is Willie. I'll definitely be there.
Okay. That's a no
I'm
for
hoping
Brandon.
to.
I
I'm
won't
trying
be
to
there,
put that
no.
together kind of this week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it'd be great to have a lot of the team there and sprinting. So, but Brandon, we can of course have you virtually as well. So that'd be great. Let's see. I was thinking that it might be kind of nice. Looks like we lost Drico. I'm sorry, we can't get his update. So let's see. Review the action items. I am going to set up a survey for just kind of get some quick feedback, low barrier feedback about how the Hangouts are working so far, and if we should just do IRC only. We are starting to formulate architecture plans for more D8 modules, so please review those. I noticed that the internet field architecture wasn't public. Thanks, Giannis, for letting me know about that. That's fixed and now public. We have the user story feature Pantheon multi-dev environment linked there. Please go review that and make sure it works properly. And I was looking to see maybe if we should pick a core priority issue, like one Drupal 8 core issue that we should try and focus on for the week, or if people could touch. I think that might be interesting to do on a weekly basis. I'm trying to look and see if I can find my board here. Drupal core issues. Maybe I'm going to look at drupalmedia.org. I think it's on the Austin page that I had. Because there's a kind of an open issue for core that file entities don't actually use access callbacks properly or access controllers. And let me get a good link to, I think that one would be the best one to kind of focus on in the near future, at least. That's my idea. And I'll post a link to it here. It is drupal.org/node/2148353. And there's some other related issues there. So it's going to be my personal goal to kind of touch this issue and maybe get a patch going. If other people want to take a look or help review or maybe get a patch going too, I think that would be great. It's kind of a deficiency in core that files don't you have an access controller, which affects not only like file entities plans, but also media entity as well if they wanted to use files, fields, or that kind of thing. So I think that would be a good one. If you have an idea for a core issue that we should kind of work on, feel free to suggest it in IRC. Anything else that we need to cover before we're adjourned?
No, that's a pretty huge issue. So it'd be great to work on that. Did we put that in the hackpad? Did I miss that?
I will post that. Let's see.
Yeah, I've been asked twice about that this summer. So.
I'll add a section for core issue of the week, since I think it's important enough to warrant that. Please don't. Okay, I've got that in the hackpad now. If you have an issue that you'd like to suggest, feel free to add it into that section too. So I'll rename it Core Issue Week. Okay, I guess that's it. For everyone here, I'm just going to stop the broadcast. So thank you everyone online for joining us, and see you next week.